Here's the maths that should keep you up at night. At a 10 times EBITDA multiple, every single dollar of adjustment moves the purchase price by $10. A $500,000 add-back you accept without challenge? That just cost your buyer $5 million. A $200,000 negative adjustment you fail to identify? $2 million gone. EBITDA adjustments are not just an accounting exercise. They are a pricing negotiation disguised as a spreadsheet. I'm John Colley, 30-plus years executing M&A and private equity deals. In this video, I'll show you the 3 tests that every adjustment must pass, the 5 traps to watch for, and the specific Summit Industrial Services walkthrough where 7 seller adjustments become a $2.3 million gap, $23 million in purchase price impact. This is part 4 of an 8-part series on financial due diligence. Let's get into it. EBITDA adjustments, the valuation battleground. Here's the math that should keep you up at night. At a 10x EBITDA multiple, every single dollar of adjustment moves the purchase price by $10. A $500,000 add-back you accept without challenge. That just cost your buyer $5 million. A $200,000 negative adjustment you failed to identify. $2 million gone. EBITDA adjustments aren't an accounting exercise. They're a pricing negotiation disguised as a spreadsheet. Let's make this concrete. At an 8x multiple, a $1 million adjustment error means $8 million of purchase price impact. At 10x, it's $10 million. At 12x, it's $12 million. This is why EBITDA adjustments are the most contested area of any deal. Both sides know exactly what each line item is worth. The seller wants normalized EBITDA as high as possible. The buyer wants it as low as defensible. Your job is to find the right number. Sellers and their advisors will present adjustments in 5 categories. First, genuinely non-recurring costs, litigation settlements, natural disasters, one-time restructurings. Second, owner-operator adjustments, above-market compensation, personal expenses run through the business. Third, run-rate cost savings, costs the buyer can eliminate post-close. Fourth, pro forma revenue adjustments, adding back revenue the seller claims was temporarily lost. Fifth, transaction costs, advisory fees, legal costs related to the sale itself. For every adjustment the seller presents, run it through 3 tests. The recurrence test: did this cost actually occur only once, or has it appeared in some form over the past 3 years? The replacement test: if you're removing a cost, what replaces it? Removing the owner's $800,000 salary means you need a $400,000 replacement CEO. The real add-back is $400,000, not $800,000. The evidence test: is there documentation supporting this adjustment, or is it just management's assertion? 5 traps to watch for. Recurring costs disguised as one-time restructuring charges that appear every year aren't one-time. Gross versus net add-backs, adding back the full owner salary without deducting replacement cost. Missing negative adjustments, below market-related party rent that resets post-close, or deferred maintenance that becomes your problem. Aggressive revenue normalization, adding back lost revenue from a customer who left, assuming they'll return. And understated run rate costs. The business has been running lean to inflate EBITDA during the sale process. The EBITDA bridge is your primary deliverable. Start with reported EBITDA. Apply non-recurring adjustments, only those that pass all 3 tests. Apply normalization adjustments, owner-related items at net replacement cost. Apply pro forma adjustments, costs that change under new ownership. Arrive at normalized EBITDA. Then clearly mark each adjustment as accepted, challenged, or rejected with your reasoning documented. Let's apply this to Summit. The seller's quality of earnings report presents 7 adjustments totaling $4.5 million on top of reported EBITDA of $18.5 million. They're claiming normalized EBITDA of $23 million, Let's test every one. Here's our assessment. Litigation settlement, $1.8 million. Accepted, genuinely one-time class action. Transaction advisory fees, $0.4 million accepted. Standard M&A costs. Founder salary add-back, $0.9 million claimed, challenged. Replacement CEO costs, $400,000. Real add-back is $500,000. Consulting fees, $0.6 million rejected. Appeared 3 consecutive years. This is a recurring cost. Equipment write-off, $0.3 million accepted, supported by insurance claim documentation. Below market lease seller didn't adjust. We add negative $350,000 because the family trust lease resets post-close. Deferred maintenance, seller didn't disclose. We add negative $250,000 for catch-up capital expenditure required in year 1. The waterfall tells the story. Start at $18.5 million reported. Add back the 3 accepted items for $2.5 million. Apply our challenged founder adjustment at $500,000 instead of $900,000. Reject the consulting fees entirely. Subtract the lease reset and deferred maintenance. We arrive at $20.7 million normalized, not the seller's $23 million. That $2.3 million gap, at Summit's 10x multiple, represents a $23 million purchase price difference. Each adjustment category flows into a different negotiation lever. Accepted adjustments support the seller's price. Challenged adjustments become price negotiation points. We can demonstrate exactly why $500,000 is defensible versus $900,000. Rejected adjustments become purchase price reductions. And our negative adjustments, the ones the seller didn't disclose, become the strongest negotiation ammunition because they demonstrate analytical rigor. EBITDA adjustments are not an accounting exercise. They're a pricing negotiation where every line item has a direct multiplied impact on purchase price. Your job is to test every adjustment with the same 3 questions. Did it really happen only once? What replaces it? And where's the evidence? Recurrence, replacement, evidence. Run every adjustment through all 3. Accept what passes, challenge what's overstated, reject what fails, and always look for what the seller didn't adjust. Next, we tackle working capital, the mechanism that directly adjusts purchase price in every deal I have ever done. That then is the EBITDA adjustments battleground. Recurrence, replacement, evidence. Run every seller adjustment through all 3 tests. Accept what passes, challenge what's overstated, reject what fails, and always look for what the seller didn't adjust. That's where the strongest negotiation ammunition lies. In the next video, we tackle working capital, the mechanism that doesn't move purchase price through a multiple, it moves it dollar for dollar on closing day in real cash. And it's where sellers run their most aggressive games. If this was useful, the complete slide decks and Summit case study are available as a free download. Link in the description below and the pinned comment below as well. I'm Colley, and I'll see you in the next video.